everyone! Today we're going to do a brief run-through of the main features of Ebsco's America, History, and Life. This is one of the most valuable resources you'll use in History 211 for your state and year project. I've chosen to work through the steps quickly, but remember that you can always pause the video to catch up. As with most research projects, you'll start from Herrick's homepage. This is especially useful if you are off campus to make sure that you're going through the library's easy proxy. Otherwise, you may have trouble accessing resources. To get to Herrick's homepage, you can either go to herrick.alfred.edu, or from My Alfred, you can mouse over Resources, then Libraries, then Herrick Library. To get to Herrick's main list of databases, click on Research Databases. These are in alphabetical order, so we'll choose America, History, and Life from the top part of the list. This takes us to one of Ebsco's search pages. Let's go ahead and get a brief rundown of what's here. Of course, there's a few boxes to enter keywords into. Next to these fields, if you click the Select a Field drop-down box, you can see that there's a number of ways to choose where your keyword would be located in a work. If you choose Author, your keyword would return results where your keyword was part of the author's name. If you choose Title, your keyword would return results where your keyword is in the title. For this tutorial, the Subject option will be the most beneficial. This will return results that have your keyword in the subject, or rather, results would be about your keyword. There are several fields in case you want to search by more than one type of keyword. Let's just use Subject for now. Now for all of you geeks out there, I know that I'm 3 years off to have chosen the subtle theme that you'll find in this tutorial, and I totally chose the wrong state. But I've chosen to do New York 1888 for this tutorial. So let's enter New York in the field so that we return results that are about New York. Now for this assignment, you need more than an abstract, which is usually just the first few lines of an article, or a citation, which is just the bibliographic information about the article, like the title, author, etc. So let's click Linked Full Text. This will make sure that only results that have the full article are returned. I just want to quickly demonstrate what I was talking about with the published date from versus the historical period from options in the research guide. Let's try 1888 in both published date from boxes, and you'll see that there's no results. There's just not much published material in this section of Ebsco before 1900. However, if, later on, you end up doing a similar assignment in a later era, this might be useful. Let's try it for a time span between 1930 and 1940. See, we've gotten a couple of results for things written between 1930 and 1940. We'd probably have gotten more if we were doing a general keyword search too, instead of a subject keyword search. Let's get back to the assignment though. To narrow down results to those written about 1888, or around there, we'll enter 1888 in both of the historical period from boxes. We just have to think a little more fourth dimensionally. Before we hit search, notice some of the other features that might come in handy for later assignments. You can sort out the peer-reviewed articles by clicking the peer-reviewed checkbox. This feature is extremely handy because professors often require peer-reviewed sources only. A lot of very wide searches that you may have for other assignments will also return so many results that it may be helpful to sort out just the ones written in English. This would make the language sorting functionality useful. You can select a language here. Also, sorting by publication type is useful. This publication type box, as well as the language box, allows you to select more than one item by holding down the Control key and clicking the ones that you want. If you wanted just academic journals and newspapers, you could select those two. Or, if you wanted everything except for book reviews, you could select them all except for reviews. If you want articles within a certain journal, the New York Times for example, you could enter New York Times in the publication box, and that will control what is returned. Also, notice the drop-down boxes that are before the search fields. You can exclude results that contain certain words by selecting Not in front of a field where you entered a word that you don't want the results to contain. Or, if you have two similar keywords, You can select OR, and it'll return results for keyword 1 or keyword 2, but not results that contain both. By leaving the default to AND, this will make sure that results are returned that contain both keywords in both boxes. One last thing on this page. Notice these radio boxes, the ones that say Boolean, phrase, find all my search terms, etc. The Boolean phrase radio button will allow the AND, OR, and NOT functions to work. The latter three will override the AND, NOT, and FOR functions to search for all of your keywords no matter which box, any of your keywords no matter which box, or you can select Smart Text Searching to enter a large quantity of text, even up to a whole page, and Ebsco will choose which words from it and try to return relevant results. Otherwise, a large quantity of text will not return results. Okay, so continuing on with the assignment, we've got New York entered and subject selected in the drop-down box next to it, and we've got linked full text selected, and historical period set from 1888 to 1888. Go ahead and click Search. As you can see, just about a Googleplex of results were returned. You will undoubtedly find something helpful within these results, but if you want to narrow it down further, check out the menu on the left. You can further narrow results down by source type, publication date, etc. Something that may be useful for this assignment is the subject and publication filtering options. You have to click to display these. It might be nice to select New York State from the subject options to make sure that we have results that are positively classified as being about New York State, rather than the city. You'll have to click Update as well. This brought our results down to an even more manageable level. You can also choose whether you want results from publications such as labor history, American history, Smithsonian, etc. here. I chose not to do that for this assignment since it doesn't really matter what publication it's from. This is just good to keep in the back of your mind. So we're down to just a couple hundred results. If you want to still further narrow these down, although if it was me, I'd just choose a few results in the first few pages, I'd recommend adding another keyword, not another subject, just a keyword. For example, I'd try adding the word political in the second field without changing the drop-down box next to it. This would make sure that it's just using the word political as a regular keyword. We have a very specific, manageable number of results now. I browsed through what was left and found that result number 16, the urban origins of suburban autonomy, would be helpful for this project. Or, on the next page, result number 21, called Failure and Fulfillment, Agitation for Employers' Liability Legislation and the Origin of Workmen's Compensation in New York State, 1876 to 1910. Now that you know how to use this database, you should be able to apply what you learned to your own state and year combination. Coming back to the future, I hope this was helpful, but as I always say, feel free to contact me for further assistance. My contact information is in the research guide in the left panel on the pages for databases, print resources, and so forth. Thanks for watching!